everybody, Glenn Houser reporting here from the California Lodging Investment Conference here in Southern California. Having a great time, and I found myself Todd Stevens with Cuningham, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about connecting the dots between hospitality and themed entertainment, particularly theme parks. I'm seeing right now, all of a sudden, there's a lot of focus on this particular universe, maybe epic universe over Universal, and it's really pushing the boundaries of theme park design. Overall, where would you say we are when it comes to that?
Well, that line is blurring, right? It's getting better and better, and I think the experiential aspects of hospitality, experiential aspects of theme parks are bridging more and more. Because I think the market's becoming more experientially driven. I think technology has a lot to do with that. I think as we look at the growth of technology, kind of the growth of people wanting to have other experiences and incorporate those experiences into their livelihoods on a daily basis.
Right. Now, one of the things that we talk about in hospitality is that E word, experience. And it always amazes me that the hospitality industry isn't learning more lessons from themed entertainment because it's so experience-focused. You look at the most recent iteration of theme park design. Specifically, you look at the lands that Universal created with Harry Potter, which really immersive in depth, and Disney tried that with Galaxy's Edge as well. You can argue about how successful that has been. It would have been better as Tatooine. I don't know. I'm just
Be careful, we worked on that one.
It looked great, but the fact that they changed it halfway kind of put their focus on it. But it looks absolutely gorgeous. So how does immersing people into an environment really create a better moment for them that they're going to remember and want to spend more money with you? And how can you apply that to them?
Well, I think a lot of that, Disney, Universal, they do it really well, and it's about creating that detachment.
Right.
We look at like escapism and the philosophy of escapism in design and how we're all the different steps in that process of arrival and anticipation. And then once you get to that point where you start to detach, there's a renewal aspect to it. So what we try to do is try to create these, environments that allow people to detach from reality just for a little bit, at moments in time. And so how do we do that in the hospitality industry? All this is founded on a good story. We talked about this before. Stories add value, and the reason stories add value is it allows that emotional connection. It allows the attachment to take place. And I think as we start looking at how we can integrate stories into space, and why I'm so proud to be at Cuningham, as I've said this before, we're the firm that has a 30-year history with Disney Universal, but we also do hotels, we do healthcare, we do photo property. So, to take that storied environment, that storied approach, and how we do things, and then to layer that at either a very literal theme idea, it's Star Wars, alien planet, or we can look at it in a branded story where the story is maybe a little bit subtle, but there's got to be those moments that help people get attached. And so in some cases, I think we need to be a little bit literal about the stories. We have a epic medical systems with the campus where we've done that. We've created a whole office campus for tech community that come to work, and every building's a different story. There's an Alice in Wonderland, there's a conference room in a treehouse, so great space.
Yeah.
But that's get that story, layer that story in, and create those opportunities for people to detach.
So, what is the secret to creating a strong story that serves as the backbone for everything that you do in your hospitality environment?
I think creating the story is one challenge. Executing the story is another piece, right? Every good story, if you look at the structure of a story, it's got a character, it's got kind of a sequence of events or challenges, and there has to be. And I always tell people, really good stories have this moment where empathy starts to evolve. And so, at some point in time, you kind of need to feel sorry for that character. Something needs to happen. I was having this conversation at NYU with some people, and I said, look, if you really want to grab some attention, say something really embarrassing about yourself, right? And which is pretty much me on a Friday or last night, right? But and that opens people up, and then once you open them up, then suddenly the hormones start flowing, and then you start setting in the challenges. There's the hero journey, there's all these different types of journeys and stories that will line out. Have the experiences to whatever that story is.
And the people don't necessarily have to know all the nuances of it. They just have to be in that environment, and they can almost create their own story based on what you said.
That's exactly it, right? I mean, the architecture is the backdrop of the stories that we're trying to create. And so if we can find a way to create this backdrop that has a story that a lot of people don't participate in that story. So that's like, you go to Disneyland, you go to Galaxy's Edge or Pandora or any other projects. You're in an environment that one is allows you to detach, but it also allows you to relate to something. And that relationship is what creates that connection. So we have to look at different ways to do that.
It's interesting what Disney was able to do with the Pandora experience over Animal Kingdom theme park, because it's a movie that made $1 billion, well, $2.7 billion, right? Now the new one is crushing it too. It didn't necessarily have characters that we all related to, like the Star Wars stories. We all know the main characters from the original trilogy. They became part of our lives. Pandora didn't have that, but the placemaking was so exceptional that, to me, it's one of the best theme park environments I've ever seen. So you don't necessarily have to have something that's made a lifetime emotional connection with somebody. It could just be very present in the moment, right?
Right. And again, there is that association with the storyline of Avatar. The kind of the human character taken on to a different form and transporting, somebody that couldn't walk to be able to walk, so there's those key elements of sympathy and then developing that connection. And then, the kind of good versus evil and realizing that he's on the wrong team. And so, but when you go there, you're not really thinking about this.
No, you're thinking about how the heck did they pull off that architecture that makes this look so amazing.
Yeah. And what's really impressive about that, I'm just getting sidetracked, that was delivered under an IPD agreement. So,
what does that mean?
Well, I integrated project delivery. So, owner, architects, contractors, everybody signed an agreement, right? And everybody's on board for sharing and shooting out how that was put in place. So that's me. So it's So Disney's done that a few times, and it worked out fairly well from our perspective. We love having filling those pieces early on the project. So I think, you have complicated things like that, you do that.
Yeah.
So
scaling it back to the typical hotel in the United States, how can we take lessons from what we've seen there and apply it to some touches with the hotel? I think this is where you get to being hyper-local and that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, how, one, find a good story that relates to the community, that has some legitimacy, and a story that has impact. And then how do you establish those connections with the community elements so that the hotel is just not about the hotel and the brand, but it's about the hotel brand within the community and serving the community. The community's involved in it. Right. And a lot of times, what happens is you look at the hotel location community and you come up with all this great history. In fact, you create a narrative, you create storyboards, whatever else you do. But it's the community engaged in that process, right? And so I think the fun part of that is engage the community and ask the community about their stories, and then bringing some of those stories into there. The way we execute stories a lot of times is lighting, maybe some assembly of finishes that kind of represents it. But I think in some cases we need to be able to take that a little bit further and have some more literal elements within that, where it's mural, artwork, whatever, but then there's actually artifacts, elements, things in there that tell that story, and a little narrative that kind of introduces some of that to you. Because sometimes the story has value, you know that story, right? Aware of the story, that's where it has the most value. If you don't have awareness of the story, the design isn't executed right, then you're really not adding value. So that's where I think the theme park world and hospitality would benefit from people in the theme park industry. Because I would plan this work, I would take another theme park designers to be planning because the level of detail they think about things is at a level that you don't think about in a hotel. You can't have
yeah, let's just sprinkler head doing that too.
You can't do that. So we always have to find really creative ways to hide things and do things and keep things going.
Yeah.
But that level of attention, when you do those small little details, it's a big difference.
Yeah, it sure is. Right? So I think the lesson to take away from here is story is essential and an incredible focus on those little things. Because that's what really makes the difference. The hospitality industry, in my opinion, in aggregate, I think they do 99% of everything really well and amazing. This little bit that's going to take you over the finish line, that makes that emotional connection with the guests, that makes them love your property and allows you to do great things.
Absolutely.
Great. Todd, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching this mini episode here of No Vacancy. I guess not so live because this has been recorded. See you guys later. Peace out. Bye.